Are you cursed with a people-pleasing disease? If you survive narcissistic abuse, chances are you might have the same problem that I and many other survivors have, and that is the problem where you want to please everybody. Does that sound like you? If so, this video is for you. So let's get started. Closed captioning provided by Athena Moberg and CPTSDFoundation.org. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So here's what it all comes down to. The other day, I got a message from someone in one of my SPAN groups, and this person is someone I have both coached and I work with in another capacity as well. And this person said, how do you stop automatically falling into the old habit of wanting to please the narcissist or anyone else in your life? The fact is, a lot of us were raised to be people pleasers. We were raised to teach others that they could walk all over us, and without even thinking about it, we will automatically jump into people-pleasing mode, and especially when we're dealing with our former narcissists again. And this happens when we fall out of no contact or we try to stay low contact sometimes. Why does this happen? Well, because in childhood, we start off, and when we do something wrong, our narcissistic or toxic parent generally looks at us and makes us feel about this big. If we're lucky, that's all it is. Sometimes it involves physical abuse and worse. But as we get older, we start to recognize that if we do a pleasing thing, then that person gives us a positive response. So we keep trying to do things to make them happy. And this is how we end up becoming people pleasers. This, of course, affects us later in life because very often we get involved with other narcissists as we grow up because people see that we want to please them. And all we can think about is, how do we make another person like us? How do we make another person happy with us? Well, we do whatever we can to please them. It's not until we start to recognize what we're actually dealing with that we begin to change ourselves and our lives. So then we become guilt-ridden, anxiety-riddled, stress-laden. We feel grief, we feel sadness, we feel loss if we're not getting that positive reinforcement. When we come to the point where we recognize what we've done, all of those things come back into play. We're angry, we're sad, we're PO'd, that we spent all of those years trying to make someone else happy and not even considering our own happiness. But how do we turn off that automatic people-pleasing response? How do we break that spell, as it were? Well, the first thing you have to do is recognize the problem, which you're already doing if you're watching this video. The second thing you have to do is start to think about what you could be doing differently if people-pleasing were not an issue for you. And then, if you're in a situation where you're dealing with a narcissist, you're not going to be able to have a logical conversation about this. If the person is not a narcissist and they're used to you people-pleasing for them, well, then you may want to step out and say, listen, this isn't working for me. Let's talk about it. But in many cases, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're going to have to just start doing something different. So when someone says to you, can you help me with XYZ? Or, oh my gosh, something's terrible and I need help with this or that, instead of automatically saying, let me help you, I'll do whatever you need. Or if someone says, can you help me with this, that, or the other thing, instead of saying, well, yeah, I'll help you, I'll do whatever you need, and then later regretting it, get into the habit of starting to say, you know what, maybe, but could I think about it for a little while? Or can I let you know I need to check my schedule, or something to delay the commitment to the pleasing. And you can even say, I'll let you know tomorrow or whatever, so that not only are you giving yourself the space you need to think about it and logically come to a decision, should you or shouldn't you do this thing for this person, but you're also giving that person at a specific time that you're going to be willing to give them the answer. Now, it might be hard for you at first to say no to someone when you have been a people pleaser for your whole life, but you have to be okay with feeling a little bit uncomfortable at first. People who are really on your side, they're not going to have a problem with what you're doing. People who are a little bit more toxic and who are using you for your time and your attention and your efforts, those people are going to not like it very much, and they're going to have a problem with what you're saying. But on the plus side, what this will do is it will open your eyes to who you can trust, who's really on your side and who isn't. And some people will be a little bit shocked at first, and then they will get through it with you. Either way, you have to be okay with the discomfort that comes with this if you're ever going to become fully self-actualized and get past that need to please other people. This is going to help you feel more peaceful, have better peace at mind, feel happier, stronger, generally more independent, And ultimately, it will lead to your self-worth going way up. The messed up thing here is that we all have to let go of our need to be liked by everyone. If I had this need still, if I really still felt like, oh my gosh, I need to be liked by everyone, y'all can bet I would not be sitting here talking to you right now, because the fact of the matter is I get plenty of criticism on this channel. Whether it's a narcissist or someone who just disagrees with what I'm saying, I get plenty. And that's okay. They can criticize if they want to, because now I know myself well enough to know that I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people who criticize me because they either don't understand me or they don't agree with me. That's okay. Go ahead and criticize me. The fact is, if you become comfortable enough with yourself that you can allow yourself to be criticized and still feel good about yourself at the end of the day, you'll know you're on the healing path to get where you need to be and to self-actualize and become the person you want to be. One more thing I want to add before I wrap up today, and that is that if you're really honest with yourself and you look through history, most people who became something, most people that people remember, those weren't people pleasers. Those weren't people who were dealing with everybody needs to like me. Those were people who stood up and weren't afraid to like cause a little dissension in the world. They were polarizing people. They were people who some people absolutely loved and some people absolutely hated. And that's okay. Sometimes in order to get anywhere in your life, you have to be one of those people. So let's look at this whole letting go thing as a way of pushing out people in our lives who are causing harm and toxicity for us, and making space for people who are part of our soul group, part of our tribe, and part of the group that we are supposed to be surrounding ourselves with if we want to become the best possible versions of ourselves. What do you think about that? This is the question of the day. The question of the day is, do you believe that if you release all of the need to people please and the need to be liked by everyone else, that you could possibly become a better version of yourself? And do you also, this is the second question of the day, have you found yourself automatically people pleasing without thinking about it? And what did you do to stop, or are you still working on that? Any tips you could offer could possibly help another survivor do a little better today. So please let me know your thoughts, your ideas, and your experiences in the comment section below, and let's talk about it. All right, that's all I've got for you right now. But as always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, before I go, make sure you take a look at the videos I'm leaving for you right here and right here. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button right there, so we can stay connected and continue together on this healing journey. And don't forget, you're never alone. You've always got your family. I'll see you soon.